Hey sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sea Lord Janda, and this is my playthrough of Rule of Waves 3 as the USA. We've now entered the 1900s. The nation is at peace after a brief war with Russia, and as we prepare for another war, which tensions are not high now, but could break out at any time, we are advancing steadily towards the first dreadnoughts. For the time being, we're looking into building SEMI-DREADNOUGHTS and other appropriate vessels for this time period. Dang, and then beyond that, okay. If we compare ourselves to Russia, who we have a bigger budget than, we are still so far behind in almost every category, actually, but especially battleships, protected cruisers, and destroyers. I am about to lay down about, I don't know, 10 to 20 more destroyers. We're going to need more battleships still. And then maybe it's about time for a new class of light cruisers. Or, yeah, we'll just say these would be actually light cruisers at this point. I really like the Chicago class, though, but, okay, 22 knots, 10 6-inch guns, 8 2-inch guns. Let's see how much we can improve on that. The Denver class, I'd like to make, say, 23 knots with the new cruiser. And certainly, okay, this is a really bad auto design. Let's see if, alright, this is weirder. This is an armored cruiser now. Okay. Could I get a light cruiser that's a, yeah, this is about right. Okay. I'd like to see if we could make 23 knots, maybe 2.5 inch on the belt. What was, I should write these things down. What was the exact armor on this? 2-inch belt, 2-inch deck, 1.5-inch turrets. It's weird to have a 2-inch deck in 1890, honestly. I mean, okay, if we assume 6-inch guns, they can literally penetrate no deck armor. There's not really much point in having more than a thin layer of deck armor. But a relatively thick belt with an extension. Oh, this is an armored cruiser kit. Why? Why are you like this? Auto designer. This is a little better. Okay. Yeah, because of our armor scheme, I think there's not much point in having an extended belt, but call it a 1-inch deck, 3-inch belt. Six-inch conning tower. Okay. It's kind of extreme. Dang, armoring those turrets gets a lot of weight for some reason here. How many guns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's actually less than our existing cruisers, is it not? How heavy are the Chicago's? 5,600, okay. Their secondary armament is 8 2-inch guns. Christ, this would have to be heavy. Just to get 8 6-inch guns at that, I'll be at better secondaries, but still. I can't put these in turrets, can I? Oh, I can't put a 1/2 inch of armor on the deck extension either. Okay, well. Oh, I can put these secondaries in turrets. It's even only slightly heavier. Okay. But I mean, I know I could do it, I think, but I don't know when we got the tech that causes that to not have a rate of fire penalty. Because I'm pretty sure there is one. Okay, but this still has less. Not only is it 1,500 tons heavier than Chicago, it has less main guns. Does it have torpedoes at least? Yeah. Whew. Okay, let's just stick with long range. I think helps with colonial service, etc. But oh, this also helps. We'll probably put older. I wonder if we can redesign the New Yorks for colonial service. Probably. This is a much better secondary armament. I don't know, the extra cost of these for 7,000 tons for 2 less main gun. I mean, okay. Can we shove 2 more guns on? And how much weight will that cost me? 7,500 tons. That's barely less than an armored cruiser. Speed is so expensive in this era. .23 knots gives this ship a much better chance of actually staying relevant, though. It won't, though, because we're going to get turbines soon, and that will render this obsolete. I'm going to settle for 22 knots and see how much weight that saves me. So much. We can save 1,300 tons by building this ship with 22 knots instead of 23. And it'll still have probably all-around better armor, better armament than our existing ships. I think we'll take it, yeah. The Olympia-class light cruiser. Very good. We're not going to build any more Arizonas, so we'll need to design a new pre-dreadnought soon too, but this is a pretty heavy armored cruiser. Hydraulic recoil. Gradual national rate of fire improvement. Good, good. Okay, these. Our destroyer fleet is not adequate, so I'm going to build another 10 destroyers, 500-ton types. And it's still going to be the smallest, well, almost the smallest destroyer fleet in the world. I don't quite know why. I mean, we're well behind Britain, but the other powers. I believe I'm supposed to take much more aggressive advantage of putting things in reserve when we're not at war, but I'm not a big fan of doing that, I have to admit. No, these are all back in active service. I need to... Well, why not leave the New Yorks on... Well, okay. Here's what we're going to do. We need to take a look at the New York class and see if it can be salvaged, basically. Oh, I can't refit them for colonial service? Okay. So if I put a second gun in your turrets and increase them to 8-inch guns... we can't. I mean, we don't have nearly enough, anywhere near enough. Wow, did that just cost me weight? It gains 18 tons. That's hardly worth anything. Yeah, I don't think there's any salvaging the New York class. I'm going to scrap these. They have already been basically a liability in our existing wars. Technically, they could be good for colonial service, but I'd rather just have more light cruisers. Okay, and then, yes, we're short on foreign stations. I'm going to assign about... It's going to have to be about 4 of these to foreign stations. That's fine. Obviously, we're going to need more light cruisers, but that was the plan anyway. And then, so the only question that leaves, these R-1900s are handy, of course. The only question that really leaves is what to do with the Michigan class. And I think the answer, solely because we only have 6 other battleships still, is that we are going to just suffer through slapping this central rangefinder rebuild on them. What? Oh, Jesus. It's overgunned. It has a narrow belt, short range, low freeboard. God, they're bad. We're still going to suffer through the process of rebuilding them, to be honest, but I'm going to put them in mothballs when they come back. We just don't have enough battleships to spare them, even if they're really bad. One more month, we're going to build about as many Olympia-class cruisers as we can afford, basically. Calm down, Mr. President. I know we have the smallest total tonnage of large cruisers in service or building. Oh, good. Improved hydrostatic valve for torpedoes. Range 800 at 25, 2000 at 15. Okay, and these cost how much per month? 1200? I'm going to lay down 2 of them immediately. Probably more in future, but that'll do for now. Until we can get one of these Arizonas finished and some other stuff cleared out. Oh yeah, I was going to look at, compared to our last upgrade, yeah, it's a significant range increase, like, what, 25% or so, at a slightly higher speed. Not bad. Torpedoes come along very dramatically in the course of the game, obviously. A new liberal government wants to reduce arms expenditures. This will spell doom for our naval power. We'll be at the mercy of other nations that are better prepared. Ah, we've invented submarines. Well, look, I think that submarines objectively work all right in this game, but they're not at all exciting to use, so I'm not particularly going to prioritize them. They pretty much do all their work, you know, off-screen on the map screen. There's no tactical battles with them or anything, so I'll just leave them on medium priority, yeah. Delaware, Michigan have completed their... Aww. The eccentric scientist's invention has turned out to be worthless. Well, that's several $1 million I'm not getting back. A regional war seems imminent in South America. One of our major arms manufacturers wants to step up exports to the likely belligerents. What's my reaction? Sell to anyone who wants to buy. Okay, all of Europe's kind of mad about that, but they can go suck our cannons. The Ohio has been commissioned. That's our 3rd Arizona. We are up to what I would call 7 good modern battleships now. The only issue with that being potential opponents such as Russia have 21 still. Now, they're not all good. This whole Pervenitz class of, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are all really rather bad. They're basically like the Michigans that I'm about to put in mothballs. But they've also got a lot of these newer, pretty decent ones. Some of these ones with a lot of these ones with 6 12-inch guns even, and 12-inch belts. So they're not bad. Okay, so we're 18 months from completing Nevada because she was on pause for a long time. But other than that, honestly, it's almost just about time for a new battleship generation again. But we're critically short on light cruisers, so I'm going to build 2 more again. The Michigans are back, right? Yeah. You go straight into mothballs. Yes, that'll save about 100, 200 a month even, so that's not bad. With only 7 battleships, I'm inclined to keep them mostly on. How much do I save by doing this? What's that amount to? Like 70 each? Better than 300 a month? Yeah, we probably should put more ships in reserve. Well, putting all these cost 8 each. Putting them all in reserve will amount to hardly anything. Alright, I'm going to leave the Pittsburgh class in reserve. I'm going to keep the battleships active just in case, a war happens. Although it's not terribly likely anytime soon, but in point of fact, that's true. As long as a war doesn't look very likely, I'm just going to put them back in reserve. Yeah, that'll save us 400 a month, so that's pretty big. 500 tons of dock size due to private shipbuilding. I do like that. There's been a political murder in the Balkans. What's your advice on the crisis? Well, the problem, of course, is that tension is somehow again highest with Britain. Nations stupid enough to put their fingers in the Balkan fire should realize they can get burned. And Britain is super mad at us for that again. Alright, well. Yeah, actually, I was going to say war with France would be one thing, but we literally can't fight any of these 3 countries without all of the others getting chained in by their massive Entente alliance horror structure. We have to fight somebody from this group that can not have a giant death alliance. Oh good, the Nationalist Party has supported additional funding for the Navy. I love funding for the Navy. Improved surface condenser. Okay. Excellent, excellent. Two months and all our destroyers will be finished. Ohio is worked up. An uprising in China. We should send a strong force to safeguard our interests again. Improved surface condenser is ready. 1% weight saving on machinery. Okay. We've really got to watch ourselves to not cause a war with Britain. Russia is fine. I would happily fight a war. The only problem with fighting a war with Russia is they really don't have that much we can take, but we could try to yank Sakhalin or Kamchatka if we could win the war. Just Russia and Japan aren't at war anymore, are they? No. I don't exactly know when they made peace, but they're not at war. Alright, 8 new destroyers. France and Italy's alliance has ended. The President has returned from a state visit to Great Britain, bringing home a proposal to solve outstanding sources of tension between our nations. My response? Yeah, we should take this opportunity to promote better understanding between our nations. Because I don't want to fight Britain. We just can't. Late in the game, yes. Like, not even late, but like in the 20s or the 30s, maybe, yeah. But we can't do it yet. Double bottom for gradual damage control improvements. Britain is effectively the final boss of this game, So, I mean, they have 39 battleships in service right now. Their fleet tonnage is over 4 times ours. Granted, ours is only bigger than Japan, Spain, and Austria-Hungary's, but I mean, budget-wise, we've caught up to Germany, France, and Russia, but only very recently. We're still most definitely only now catching up in size. See, it's interesting. According to things under construction, they're all just continuously battleship building. I wonder if their cruiser fleets are getting, like, well, they're not that old. I think it's just my insistence on building ships that are actually pretty large and good ship for ship causes me to commonly end up with less than the AI, which is more willing to accept like decent to bad but numerous ships. 6-foot rangefinder, national accuracy improvement. I do love accuracy. Okay, we have a budget surplus again. Should I spend it on docks? I really shouldn't. We don't actually need bigger docks than that right now. We're building a battleship, 4 light cruisers. We need more armored cruisers again. Now that I scrapped the New Yorks and all. I think the Memphis class is pretty nice. For the time, anyway. Is they that old already? Jeez. 1895 design? Well, okay. Hold on. Let's see if we can get a better... better ship than this on the same weight. We could get a better ship on the same weight, or we could just, like, save some weight. What do these guns penetrate these days? An extra half-inch or inch of belt armor would probably be pretty nice these days. Kind of costly, though. Okay. Just a slight upgrade to keep her relevant, like San Diego class, same speed, extra half-inch belt armor, couple of extra guns. Honestly, I think that's fine for my money. Okay, we stole the blueprints for Japanese quality -1 10-inch guns. That's pretty nice, actually, although I have no real intention of using 10-inch guns, to tell you the truth, but you never know. I mean, if they're much better than our 9 or 11-inch guns, then might be worth it. We do have -1. I mean, next thing, we're gonna have to pause some stuff because we're not gonna be able to sustain this building. But as soon as we have the budget free, we're gonna need a new class of pre-dreadnoughts. At least one last class, maybe penultimate class even. Okay, we've gotten that hardened AP penetrator, so more armor penetration. Tensions are falling. 7 destroyers have finished working up. We are working on face hardening, but struggling. Okay, and we've developed the early coastal submarine. Should I set it to auto-build submarines? I don't actually know how. I just see the option here, but it doesn't really seem to... Oh. Let's see, what if I tell you to auto-build 1 coastal submarine per month? It costs me money, and these submarines suck, so I'm just gonna not. Or maybe I'll build, like, 2 for experimental reasons, basically, because sometimes you need one. Sometimes you need some in service just to what am I trying to say here? You need some in service to advance the technology. I know it's like that with aircraft carriers, where you cap out on aircraft carrier technology if you never build any. Power rammers, gradual rate of fire improvement. Medium wing turrets, secondary wing double turrets up to 10 inches caliber. Now we can really build semi-dreadnoughts. Maybe we will with our next class. They're kind of abominations, but you gotta kind of love them. They are better than pre-dreadnoughts, just in a weird way. Okay, more private shipbuilding. 19,000 tons of docks now. There's a rebellion in the Falkland Islands. We should help Britain root out the rebels because I don't want war with them. I want war with somebody else. Cockburn safety valve, 1% weight saving on machinery. Haven't succeeded on 600-ton destroyers yet. That's okay, honestly. More private shipbuilding. Okay, getting some good rules on that. Not much had happened before there, but as far as that goes. But 19,500 now. We're only going to be able to keep building at this rate for one more month, and then we're going to run out of money. But oh, excellent. Improved 11-inch guns. That's an option now, too. Okay, we're going to have to pause one of the San Diegos. That instantly fixes our budget, so that's good. We can keep building everything else. The government is concerned about tensions leading to war. We've been called to give advice. What do I recommend? Disarmament conference? That would be funny, but who could we negotiate an agreement with? If I negotiate an agreement with Britain, it becomes a little too much of a curb stomp. Honestly, why don't we make an alliance with Japan? Right? Our tensions are very low. They don't really have anything. I can't change to the map right now. They don't really have anything that I want except maybe Korea, but there's always time to get that later. They would be a good ally against both Russia and Spain. Okay, we've negotiated an alliance with Japan, and Britain has crushed the rebels in the Philippines. How much does this cost? 1,600? I don't think we can afford to. Well, it doesn't actually hurt to. Yeah. Can't quite afford to keep building that yet. Another 1,000 tons of private shipbuilding. Boy, that's really going now. It didn't do much of anything the last decade. Maybe it can't when I'm building actively, but I don't think that's true. Maybe, though. Hydraulic riveting for 1% weight saving. Excellent. And we pause again, and so we got 7, 8. I mean, the fleet is coming together, but a lot of our opponents have much larger fleets still. Potential opponents, anyway. We really need pretty much everything, too. I don't know how they build so many. I mean, even if I put pretty much like all my ships in mothballs, I don't think I would be anywhere near building. Never mind that. Their budget is crazy. But 24 battleships that these guys have on allegedly pretty much our same budget, I don't know how they do that, honestly. Like, I could see with the heavy cost saving getting maybe an extra 2 battleships or something by now, but that's not even close. Oh, okay. Germany and France's alliance has lapsed, like maybe 3 years after they signed it. Do I want to embarrass Great Britain? No. Hush it up. No scandal. I don't know what scandal you're talking about, guys. Yeah, who knew that a Franco-German alliance at this time was kind of cursed? There is still a French-British alliance, and an Us-Japan alliance, and an Austria-Hungary-Russia alliance. So we can't fight France either because they're allied with Britain, but Russia and Germany are fair game. I really want Spain, but we haven't had any events to remotely increase tension with Spain lately. The Olympia has been commissioned. You know what? I'm going to publicize this spy from Great Britain just because it gives us budget. And we're not anywhere near a war, so. Okay, that one's been a little delayed, I guess. We are about to finally finish Nevada. We have funding again, so I'm going to look into designing a SEMI-DREADNOUGHT. Now here we're talking 4 12-inch, 12 7-inch, 18 3-inch, 12-inch belt, 2-inch deck. Let's see if we can't remember all this. 12 7-inch, 18 3, 12-inch belt. That's, oh, speed. How fast? 16 knots? Yeah. With dreadnoughts, we're going to want to go faster, but I don't know if we're going to be able to go much faster with pre-dreadnoughts, to tell you the truth. We don't have turbines yet, so this, you know, only by going to short range. Okay, minimally, we maintain sort of the same armor that the old ship had. 12-inch guns, -1 quality. I'd like 9-inch secondaries, I think. Good amount of tertiary firepower. This is wildly expensive, maybe 8-inch secondaries. But give me my third fire control position. Can I stuff these into turrets? Actually, that's critical. If I can't, I can. Actually, can I put them in twin turrets? Didn't I get that tech? I totally can. Okay. 12 8-inch. Why? Okay, hold on. Well, I just, oh. Okay, yeah, I don't know why you decided to be like that, but, okay, well, I'd like, yeah, I don't want them to be asymmetric. I just want, okay. Why are they all on the port side? There we go. Okay. I wonder if that was solely cosmetic, actually. No sense taking chances with it, though. But it didn't change our weight, I don't think. Anyway, okay, what can these guns penetrate? 9 inches of armor, 1-inch deck at extreme range. I know better ships, more deck penetration. It's increasing pretty rapidly, so really I think this is the minimum armor to be a little bit future-proof. The only sticking question is how heavy does this have to be? 16,600 tons. Honestly, an extra 1,600 tons for... Can I put tertiaries in turrets? Yes. Can I put tertiaries in twin turrets? No. Okay, well, single turrets is progress too. No. Okay. An extra 1,600 tons, and it's got, I think, at least marginally more armor in some critical areas. And it's got 8-inch secondaries, which makes it maybe not fully a semi-dreadnought, but the fully semi-dreadnought ones are kind of ridiculous. I think that this is a pretty good 1902 pre-dreadnought. I don't dislike it. I can't afford to design it yet. Okay. Give it a month or two. We've completed Minneapolis. We have enough money now to actually finish the California design. Excellent. All right, so Nevada and the remaining 2 Olympias will be done momentarily. The San Diegos are well underway. We're just going to need to save the money freed up by them to build more battleships, though. So Nevada is finished. We have reliable bursting charges, so more damage from penetrating hits. We have a huge monthly surplus, which is fine because we're going to need to spend, I don't know, $3,000 a month per battleship or something stupid like that on these Californias probably. So Denver has been commissioned and Des Moines have been commissioned. Excellent. We have developed active mine warfare, so we get more defensive minefields. Okay, we have a huge pile of cash. That's fine, because we're about to build the California class. As long as they don't take it away from us between turns. We've developed a pressure hull, 5% submarine reliability. Well, that's something. Okay, oh wow, only 2,000 per month. Okay, I'm going to immediately lay down 4 California-class battleships. California, Connecticut, Wyoming, and Colorado. These are... Man, those turrets didn't end up really fitting well onto the shape, huh? Oh yeah, I forgot they added ship histories. How does this look? Oh, that's kind of interesting. Okay, Illinois, laid down in Great Britain, commissioned. Commanded by Captain Farber. Sailed around to the Pacific. Captain Mitscher relieved Captain Farber, moved to Northeast Asia. Fought in 2 battles with the Russians officially, not in action either time. Came back home, rebuild, reserve. That's interesting. I like that feature. What would it look like on a ship that actually fought in the war? Oh, look at this now. Captain Barney fought in the Spanish in action. Took medium damage by gunfire. Scored 2 main battery hits on Emperador Carlos V. Light damage by gunfire. Scored another hit on Emperador Carlos V. We have a nemesis, apparently, Pittsburgh. I quite like this feature. We'll have to look at it more for ships maybe when we decommission them or something, if they've actually been in action. I don't think the New York's had any very interesting history, unfortunately, because they're garbage. Okay, 4 battleships. That's a good step. That will take us a good deal closer to actually... Now, you know what is interesting here? Our 14 battleships are about 2 to 3 battleships short of matching the Russians' 23 battleship tonnage. I think if we had 17 or 16, 17 battleships at the same average tonnage of all our ships there, we would match the Russians' 23. We build heavier ships than them on average, for sure. Britain is just ridiculous. They have so many damn ships. Now, there is only this one class that's as big as our newer battleships, the Caesar class. They went back to smaller ships again after that. Everybody has thinner armor than us. I think probably we've overdone it on armor for this era, but I also think that gunnery is improving rapidly, and our ships will be much more future-proof to serve on until 1910 or something than theirs. Okay, we've built our 2 submarines. They're just going to sit around helping with experiments, basically. Okay, another uprising in China. They have got issues. We will send a force to safeguard our interests again. Face hardening, gradual improvement of armor quality. Alrighty. 2 ships have finished working up. Side drums, weight saving on machinery. Captain Standley here is incompetent, apparently. That's unfortunate. Man, honestly, I wish tensions would climb with one of these countries. Jeez. Spoiling for a fight again. We haven't really had a good war. Oh, central firing fire control. Okay. We're going to need to refit all our ships again, is what that comes down to. And on that note, that should be all right for today, folks. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for the 1900 All the World's Fighting Ships special pretty soon. See you next time.